Hi there. Okay, so it's taken me ages and ages to put together this next video for the Grow Free from Shackles series that I said I would do. Some people know already that I have this written down, as a kind of concept, so it's not something that I couldn't have done, continued the videos about. It's just that part of how I like to try to live is to go with the flow and free flow. It's funny actually, I read something about that recently on Facebook. Somebody posted something about going with the flow in kind of a negative sense, i.e. aimlessly going with the flow. I think it's a positive thing, and it's something that I intend to continue to do. What it can sometimes mean is that things change along the way, and the original H in the Shackles acronym, following on from silence, which I did a video about before, the original H was around hearing, so it was silence and then hearing, and just wasn't working. I did a video on it that technologically kept cutting out, kept stopping, wouldn't upload. There were all sorts of issues with it. Children coming in and making noise in the background, just wouldn't come together. And I was thinking, okay, what is this all about? Because again, part of going with the flow is about kind of recognising what things are about, being reflexive in the moment. So it's not just about aimlessly going forward and floating around. It's about saying, what do things mean? What does this represent symbolically? What does this tell me about what next? And initially I thought, this is because H isn't supposed to be hearing. H is supposed to be about health. Now, health is something that I have been drawn to in so many different ways over the past few years, maybe just over 2 years in particular, where I've met a lot of people with life-limiting conditions, met physically face-to-face, but also on Facebook, those that have overcome and found ways to holistically really treat themselves. I also became involved in a health and wellbeing business myself, which, I'm really pleased that I did. And I thought, oh yeah, that's because H is meant to be about health. Of course it is, because before I became involved in the health and wellbeing business, before I was introduced to it, I had a vision board where I'd kind of done put some pictures on there related to health and their relationship to family and business and etc. So I thought, that's why. Again, wouldn't come together. I was thinking, this is crazy. What's going on? Now, I feel compelled to write this, make this video, because I do believe that the H is heart. Now, I developed a group called Heart Flow Business Growth earlier this year, and I am a thinker. I'm an academic. I sometimes overthink things, actually. And so the whole notion of going with heart is something that I believe is really, really important. We can get in our own way, we can overthink things, we can talk our way out of things, we can create all sorts of fantasies and fears in our minds that prevent us from doing the things that we're capable of doing. We can decide that we're not capable of all sorts of things that we really would be if we just allowed ourselves to just be. Now, I have many mantras, as you know. My strapline for my company is Grow Your Colours. I talk about being who you are and the importance of that. And I really think that at the very, very essence of that is heart. And I would say that heart is also an aspect of hearing, so I am kind of wanting to link it back to hearing as well, the original H, because whilst I believe in, I spoke before about silence and prayer and meditation and taking time to kind of get in touch with ourselves, I believe that the thing that or the part of us that we need to be getting in touch with is our heart. It's our heart that speaks to us, it's our heart that tells us, it's our heart that I believe God sends us messages within. Yes, sometimes externally, there are, for me, symbolically things happen and I think, oh, okay, that makes sense now. So, it's not just internal, but for me it begins internally, it begins in the heart. And it's the heart that I believe that opens us up to receiving those messages, wherever they come from, whether they're from other people or objects in our external world. So I am advocating that the second letter in the Shackles acronym for growing free from shackles is to spend some time tuning into your heart, to hear what your heart is telling you, to allow your heart to lead you. Your heart is where your truth is. Our heads is where we carry information and knowledge and messages that we've been given from other people and our upbringing, etc. Our heart is constantly reviewing. It's at the centre of us, it's at the centre of how we're feeling in any given moment. It informs us of what to do next. So the second letter in the Shackles acronym is heart. And I will be back, I'm sure, that the next letter, A, I'm going to say it now, which is acceptance. I'm sure that that's not going to change into anything else. So I will be back with you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.